Yay! Thank you guys for waiting so much. I appreciate it. I was just on a call with a client that I love and is having, some struggles that we were dealing with, and I'm excited to see where it all goes. So give me a moment as my brain kind of just says, okay, you're on live stream now. Right, and these are the things you want to talk about here. So as I do that, let me just say that welcome, right, to Being Back Alive. This is where I talk about the struggles, the real struggles of being an adult autistic alive right now, and not when research catches up. That is what we do here. We talk as a group, kind of participate and chat and all of that fun stuff. And I am excited to talk about today's topic because it is something that has been driving me crazy for the last week or so. So I'm excited to talk about that. But before I get there, I must talk about this channel. I love this channel. It is my little baby. I have been working on growing it for a very long time. Here come all the dogs, all of them. It's like they know, they all want to be on camera, I think. Any case, I really hope they're quiet. Hey Bill, hey Bernard, hi Stevie. So yeah, that topic I'm excited to talk about. But my little baby YouTube channel, it is time for my baby YouTube channel to grow. YouTube decided that 1,000 subscribers is the way that they denote that a channel is big enough to have impact. And I want to know if I can get there. I've been doing this for quite some time now, and I think it's about time that I take a leap forward or get off the train. So I've been doing YouTube stuff for a hot bit, and I'd like to see my channel get to 1,000 subscribers. So that is my push for this month. We are 8 days into December, and December is going to be full of giveaways because I want to make it worth your spoons to subscribe and or share this channel with other people. So let's chit chat before I get onto that stuff. This topic is something that is super duper close to my heart and something that I struggle with a lot. And that is sensory sensitivity. And I have days where, my sensory sensitivity just kind of sits there. It's just an underlying thing that, oh, it's a little bright in here. Let me throw on my sunglasses. Oh, it's a little loud in here. Let me turn the music up a little bit, or whatever it is that I need to do to just sort of adjust, right? So the sensory sensitivity sort of lies there. But there's more. I have other days where I have heightened sensory sensitivity, and it's almost like sensory overwhelm. I don't know what else to call it. So that's my new term right now until I get one. Because you know how I work, you guys, until I find one that really rolls off the tongue, right? So it's like a heightened sensory sensitivity day where everything is just all of it, right? And what I've noticed is that it is something that I've had my whole life, or these days of heightened sensory sensitivity. And what I noticed in the package of trauma, which I love to look at all of the trauma now, what I noticed there is that I did spend so much of my childhood ignoring that underlying sensory sensitivity. And it was only when I was having those heightened sensory sensitivity days that people noticed that I had these struggles, or that it became apparent, or I had a behavior or something, right? That people would take note of. And what I want to say about that is it's really no different now. And I feel really sad, actually. And I did cry about it the other day. I feel really sad for little me, who didn't know what was going on, who thought everybody else had the same experiences, who didn't get why no one took me seriously, who was invalidated on the regular, right? I felt really bad for her because that's a challenge. It's uncomfortable to be uncomfortable that way. Well, now I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, and I still have those days. And I got to tell you guys, I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. Oh my God. I don't even know how to talk about it except to describe my current experiences. So what happens for me, I think, is that the sensory sensitivity gets heightened the more exhausted I get. So the more tired I am, the less spoons is really not probably the most accurate. The less spoons I have, the less ability I have to put up with those sensory sensitivities. That's how I want to describe it. And when I get to when I reach the point of overwhelm, which is the only way I need to know how to describe it, right? It's like that overwhelm bucket, right? That image of a bucket overflowing, that the sensory sensitivity just overflows to the point where it becomes something other than. Those heightened sensitivity days feel to me like there is, okay, here's what happens to me on those days, right? I wake up and I'm uncomfortable in my own skin. My hair will literally hurt me. Like however I slept on it will be painful. The crusties in my eyes, uncomfortable, right? All of that stuff, whatever I'm wearing, uncomfortable. I will not have throughout the day, I lose the ability to really control my body temperature and whether I'm feeling. So I'll either be really, really cold or really, really hot, right? I don't have a middle ground with that in terms of, or at least feeling a middle ground in there on those sensory sensitivity days. I will, if I have to get dressed to go somewhere, I go through so many outfits, I can't even talk about it. Pairs of socks that are fine on certain days, on those days will not work. Same thing with bras, clothing, all of that stuff. I've actually had to cancel plans on heightened sensory sensitivity days because I legit could not get dressed. Like I couldn't put clothes on. And I don't know how to describe that to people in any other way. Like I was so uncomfortable in my own skin that any clothing that I put on myself was painful to the point where I couldn't leave the house. Okay. And that happened to me this week. And it just reminded me how much the sensory sensitivity plays a role in my life in such a big way, right? Can you see Walter? That's Walter's tail. I just want you to know that's Walter. He's right behind me. He's looking for probably food on the floor, but he's just the cutest boy. I love him so much. Okay. Anyway, yes, so it's like that. I go to take a shower, the temperature in the shower, I can't get it right. It's either too cold or too hot. And I'm just really sensitive to that. And my usual things aren't working, right? So I usually have my computer sound set at a certain level. I have my TV volume at a certain level that are my comfort levels. And on these sensory heightened days, no, either I need it louder or I need it quieter, or like, it's just nothing is right. Nothing feels right. Everything feels, no food tastes good. All of it is out of whack, right? All of it. Walter, quiet, please. Leave it. And all of that stuff is so out of whack that I'm miserable. And it reminds me of the way that you feel when you get the flu and how just anything that touches your body, it all hurts. Everything is just, it all hurts. Right. And there's nothing you could do but lie there and just think about how uncomfortable you are. That's how those days feel to me all around. Right. It's just, and all of the senses are affected by it, all of it. Right. And so the other day I had where I couldn't find an outfit, where I had to cancel plans. And then it's the winter time. And on top of it, I have other sensory sensitivities that are worse in the winter. Right. So my hands where I live, it's very dry because we live up in the mountains. Hi, Fiona. It's Fiona's face. It's very dry and I wash a lot of dishes and I clean a lot and wash my hands a lot doing the 2 jobs that I do. So my hands are so dry and cracked. And I hate the way my hands feel when they touch things, when they're dry and cracked. Like I can't even touch my shirt right now because my hands are like, bleh. And there's no amount of lotion. And then if I put lotion on, the lotion feels so gross. I can't even put the lotion on. So this is sort of where this is all at. My feet, the bottom of my feet are like that inside the bed. Like I want to sleep with socks on, but I hate the feeling of socks when they're on my feet and I'm trying to sleeping. And then I can feel the dry, cracky feet on the sheets. Listen, you guys, it's a nightmare. Right. And then I couple that stuff with, oh, wait, let me include also the dry nose that I get in the winter and how itchy and tight and everything my nose feels because of how dry it is in the winter. Okay. So all of those things. Quiet, please, Walter. Right. All of it. Ugh, I'm just thinking about these things skeeves me in a way I can't even. Okay. So today I'm lucky enough that I'm rested enough or I have enough spoons, at least right now, that I'm tolerating clothes, that I was able to shower this morning, that my hands aren't bothering me so much. But let me tell you something, you guys. When I work at the vet's office, one of the things we have to touch often is gauze. And the way that gauze feels when you touch it with dry hands is so disgusting. And you can't just get one piece. You get like 5 pieces attached to your fingers and everything. It's just so distressing. It's distressing. And it's another kind of spoon stealer for me that I have. And I had that this week and it's exhausting, you guys. It's exhausting on top of the 7 layers of jello of depression and all of the other shit that I have going on. I am fucking tired and cranky. about all of it. And so I wanted to share with you guys that the sensory sensitivity does not go anywhere. It doesn't. It's something that we have. And I also want to share with you that as an older woman on the spectrum, the older I'm getting, the less I'm able to tolerate. Right? I saw who's mentioned it. CV, you mentioned it up there about it being more challenging in your 50s. Yeah, like I feel like I'm reverting back to my childhood in terms of sensory sensitivity, where I just can't tolerate stuff and I have meltdowns from it. I mean, the days that I have to try on 4 outfits, I'm sweaty, I'm exhausted, I'm out of spoons, and I just want to cry because I feel fat, I feel ugly, I feel all of these things about myself because I'm not comfortable and I'm having a heightened sensitivity day. And it's too much to say. Heightened sensory sensitivity day. I need a better name for it. But yeah, that's the week that I've had this week. I had 2 days like that already this week, and I had one last week. And it's really annoying to me because there's some things I can do about it and other things I can't. And so I just wanted to, I guess it's a reminder to all of you autistic adults out there that we still have it. We're still autistic. We're still having sensory sensitivity days. We still have days when it's what did you say, CV? I have heard it is for non-females too over 50, not sure. I too, yes, I've heard also all of us seem to over the age of 50, and I'm not quite at 50, so I can't wait. But all of us over the age of 50 seem to sort of revert in that place of sensory sensitivity where we used to not be able to tolerate it. It would cause meltdowns. Then we go through a period in our early teens through our, into your 30s, I guess, where we kind of can tolerate everything for a while. And I don't know if that's because we're required to by society and now we don't have to anymore, or if literally something is changing in our brains the way that it changes as we're growing up and now we're kind of growing down. Right. And so are we experiencing some kind of death of our neurons or something in there that's happening, that's increasing this sensory sensitivity and our ability, the limits to which we can kind of deal with it, right, in our later life. So yeah, it's a big problem, and it's something we don't talk about at all. Everybody thinks about sensory sensitivity with children. Oh, how do I find socks for my kids and pants for my kids? Let me just fucking tell you that we still do it, right? Right up along there with chicken nuggets and French fries, let's say foods, is socks inside out and underwear inside out and shirts with tag holes ripped in them because out of anger we just ripped them out. Okay, it happens all over again, and it doesn't go away, and it's part of our spoon management. We have to understand that the days that we're having heightened sensory sensitivity, that's spoons either that are depleted or ones that are being used because of it, right? Blah, 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 right? Just talking about it is making me uncomfortable. And so there's more in there. There's stuff I'm still processing about it. Obviously, I'm not clear about my thought. Yeah, see, Bill says, agrees. Thank you, Bill. He said, yes, it happens. It's happening for him as well as a non-female. So, oh my goodness. So CV just said, I did OT at an autism clinic that serves kids, and they were shocked that sensory issues don't disappear with age. They don't go anywhere. We have this period where we somehow have some kind of cushioning around us where it doesn't bother us as much, but it doesn't go anywhere. Or maybe we learn to tolerate it better and I have the patience and energy for that as, in our 20s. But plus, 50, I want to say, guys, sorry, I want to say like 45 plus, not even 40 plus. And we start to notice this return of sensory sensitivity that is much like what we had as kids. I think it's really similar. And so is it coming from the same place? Like as kids, are we at that place because we're low on spoons, or what I don't know, can't go back in time. Would love to ask some kids alive today. But it's an interesting thing, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's just that we learn in different phases how to manage it in different stages of our life. And I think at the tail end of our lives and at the beginning of our lives, it's unmanageable. And so it presents as this unmanageable behavior because we feel like it's unmanageable. And that's how I feel on these heightened sensory days. Like, it's just fucking unmanageable. I can't do anything without this meat case that I have to carry around with me. And the meat case doesn't want anything touching it or listening to it. It doesn't want to be working that day. Right. And so, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. And it's very frustrating. And it's doubly frustrating because it's not acknowledged in adulthood. And so here I am right here on my very own YouTube channel, acknowledging adult sensory sensitivity, acknowledging that we still have overwhelm and meltdowns for it. It's just that it all looks different when you're a grown up. And so, yes, if you are an OT, please, get out there, do some research in sensory sensitivity in adulthood. It's not going anywhere. And you can, for whatever reason, exposure therapy does not work for autistic people and our sensory sensitivities. You can expose me to a loud noise over and over again, and I am still going to be like, or I'm gonna flinch or something. Okay, it's not going anywhere, and exposure doesn't work. So we need to think about another way to look at it. It has to be looked at in a different way than that, because it doesn't go anywhere. So I wanted to validate for you adults out there that we are still having sensory sensitivity days. There are days that it is so bad for me that I have to cancel on people because I cannot get dressed. I just want to share that. Okay. That is the level at which the discomfort can rise. And so please stop invalidating our experiences with sensory overload. And please stop not acknowledging that we have it. And please stop believing that any and all of the parts of autism disappear in adulthood. They don't. They just go through a developmental phase, just like the rest of our brain. So please stop discounting our experiences, because those are the days when I feel helpless. Those are the days when if someone dared to call me a high functioning autistic, I would punch them in the fucking face. Okay? Because there is nothing functional about those days. Nothing. Okay? So let's really, I guess, be honest about it and talk about it. And I'm sorry I got distracted because I see your comment, Gabrielle. I don't understand exposure therapy. That seems like torture. It seems that way to me as well. I suppose it works if it's an irrational fear, right? If it's an irrational fear of things happening, right? That maybe if you see it not happening enough times, that you can kind of let it go. But in terms of sensory sensitivity, that's the fuck way my brain and body are wired, That's just the way I work, and I can't change that, right? I can't all of a sudden be like, if I expose my left hand to enough writing, I am going to become a lefty. No, I will always be a righty, right? I mean, it's craziness. So yeah, it can be torture, I think, if used incorrectly, just like all therapies. If you use them incorrectly or misuse them on people, it is torture. You are torturing that person and you are creating trauma. And so, yeah, right. It just doesn't work for autism and the sensory sensitivities. It just doesn't. That's how our wires are connected and how our brain feels. And that's real. Sorry. So it became a file, says CV, pattern associated with the sensory trauma, PT. Yes. And yes, I can see that, where exposure therapy could actually create PTSD rather than anything else, right? Think about it from an autistic perspective. In any case, my mission today was to share that with you guys because I've had the struggle this week and I wanted to talk about all of those nitty gritty details of it and all of the parts of it that get affected by it, because it doesn't go anywhere. And what we need to do is not think that it's going to get cured or go away. What we need to do is learn the skill sets to manage it, right? What do we do for ourselves on those hard days? And how much do we ignore it on the days that it's not difficult, right? How long do we, right? Got to learn those things about ourselves and figure out that stuff. But sensory sensitivity can be a spoon stealer for me, and it can tank my mental health in a way that, not in a way, at a rate that is, nothing else does it to me like that. And so I'm excited that I'm having not a day without it, but a day that's lighter than the last few days have been, because it's been a pain in the butt. So that's what I've got to share with you guys today. A little bit about sensory sensitivity in adulthood and sort of why we have to stop thinking about it as a child thing, because it's not. yeah, big reminder for you guys as we head into this month that I am trying to get my subscriber numbers up, and in order to encourage you guys to use your spoons for subscribing and sharing the channel, I'm going to be doing giveaways. So here we are with the second giveaway. I'm going to do another round of books today. So I'm going to be giving away another 3 signed copies of Spectrum Women. The instructions to receive that giveaway. And I don't care what you do with the books. Give it to somebody else if you have a copy for yourself. Send it to your library, give it to a school, a hospital, whatever you like. I just want more copies out in the world. And if you win once, it does not mean that you can't win another time for another prize. So don't feel like that either. I'm not putting those kinds of weird limits on here because frankly, my channel's not big enough to do that. But I'd like it to be. So please help me out. If you would like to win one of the 3 signed copies of Spectrum Women, all you have to do today is email me at info@beccalaurie.com or go to the contact page on my website, beccalaurie.com, and email me 1 or 2 of your sensory sensitivities and what they're like for you and what, kind of it feels like for you. And also include in that email your mailing address so that I can send you. I'm going to be using the timestamp on the emails to decide which are the first 3 who will be receiving signed copies of Spectrum Women right behind me, right there. And please include in your email at info@beccalaurie.com, which is down in the description, or the contact page in my website, which is also down in the description, and email me something that is a sensory sensitivity for you and how it makes you feel. And with that include, of course, your mailing address. If I will use the timestamps on the email, and if you email me without a mailing address, I will have to discount your entry. That's the only thing I'm doing because I just don't have the time to email back and forth to get your mailing address if you are a winner. So please do that for me. I would love to give away more copies of Spectrum Women today. It would be my pleasure. And I love hearing from you guys. I just love hearing about what your experiences are out there with the things that I struggle with too. So please participate. I would love that. Please feel free to comment wherever you're seeing this video because I do read my comments. Your thumbs up and thumbs down mean a ton to me. Thumbs up let me know that my content is on point, and thumbs down lets me know otherwise. So please do that for me. Sharing the channel, sharing episodes, all of that means the world to me. So please continue to do that. I would love it very much. And one last reminder, I am going to be doing an Ask Me Anything. Yes, I'm going to be doing an AMA on December 15th. That's next Wednesday, right here in this time slot. I'm going to be doing a live Ask Me Anything. There are posts about it on my social media. You can leave your questions wherever that post is, or you can email me your questions directly at info@beccalaurie.com. All right, you guys, I hope for you to participate in the giveaway as well as the Ask Me Anything. I'm trying to make it fun and exciting on this channel this month so that I can up those subscribers and make it worth your value. Thanks so much for taking some spoons and time to join me today to talk about the challenges of being an autistic adult alive right now and not when research catches up. I appreciate that very much. I hope you guys get out there and have an amazing rest of your day. Get out there and seek joy, create joy, and share joy, all the joys. And I will see you out and about on the interweb. I'll be back next Wednesday with the next Growing Gratitude, with the next Being Becca Live, which is going to be the Ask Me Anything. And then, of course, I'll be here on Sunday with the next Growing Gratitude. I'll see you soon, you guys. Bye.